The movie begins with a woman named Mary going for a morning run near a forest. While passing beside a nearby cemetery, she suddenly feels as if someone is watching her. She senses an unusual presence and realizes that someone is secretly photographing her from a distance. Frightened, Mary immediately leaves the area. Moments later, the unknown man who was watching her starts chasing her. Mary runs desperately, trying to escape and save her life. She manages to inject the man with a sedative, causing him to lose consciousness. In a panic, Mary quickly drives away from the forest. When she reaches home, Mary activates her security system. She is suddenly confronted by her neighbor, Zhao, who angrily claims that Mary damaged her garden while driving earlier. After the confrontation ends, Mary notices that she is still holding a knife belonging to the mysterious man. As she stares at it, her mind drifts back to a memory from 3 years ago. At that time, Mary, a highly skilled engineer, and her husband, Robert, were showing their daughter, Kelly, their new home. The house is a luxurious, high-tech residence fully designed by Mary herself. She demonstrates the smart features of the house, all controlled through her phone and smartwatch. The system can control lights, adjust temperature, darken the windows, operate appliances, and perform many other functions. Every feature was carefully created to assist Kelly, who could no longer walk properly after a serious knee injury. Back in the present, Mary enters the monitoring room to check the security cameras. Meanwhile, inside the garage, the unconscious man slowly regains awareness. He crawls out of the car trunk, revealing that Mary deliberately brought him into her home. This is where her carefully planned trap truly begins. As the man moves into the basement, he finds himself surrounded by photographs and official documents linked to violent assault cases. Mary then plays a news report describing the deaths of several women. All the victims share similar physical traits, including brown hair, similar height, and matching facial features. The report states that in 2015, the FBI discovered the remains of the first victim near a cabin in Oregon. The woman had been burned alive, and her tongue was preserved inside a jar. Investigators learned that the killer would relocate to another country after murdering 3 victims. The FBI eventually created a sketch of the suspect, believed to be a laborer. Because the word Diablo was carved into a tree at the first crime scene, the media named the killer Diablo, meaning devil in Spanish. As the man looks directly into the CCTV camera, Mary compares his face with a photograph from her records. Certain that he is Diablo, she unlocks a sealed room. Inside, 3 photographs of victims are displayed within a cage. The video continues by explaining that these women had their tongues removed and were held captive for a long time before eventually dying inside the enclosure. When Diablo notices a necklace hanging nearby, he suddenly remembers his mother. She was the woman who treated him cruelly and constantly called him Diablo. Realizing that the necklace once belonged to her, he takes it and wears it. Mary then plays a video interview featuring the family of one of the victims. They speak about their hope that one day someone will make Diablo pay for his crimes. Moved by their words, Mary activates the electric shock system. The shock knocks Diablo unconscious. Mary then turns her attention to a photo of her daughter placed on a small altar. Her thoughts drift back to a memory from the past. She remembers the day she and her husband gifted Kelly a luxury car for her birthday. She had also arranged treatment with the best medical specialist for Kelly's injured leg. Mary hoped that one day her daughter would be able to walk normally again. When Diablo regains consciousness, Mary leads him into a room filled with steam pipes. She plays another video explaining the story of a victim named Darlene Haran. Darlene once managed to escape after Diablo injected her with a paralyzing drug. Mary increases the temperature inside the room and forces Diablo to step forward. He is made to experience the same suffering his victim once endured. After Darlene escaped, the drug had already damaged her eyesight. As she stumbled through a corridor, she was burned alive by a scorching steam pipe. Mary then displays a photo of another victim, Michaela Meyer. Michaela was burned to death after her tongue was cut out. Mary continues by revealing 3 more victims who suffered the same horrific fate. Even after being confronted with clear evidence of his crimes, Diablo shows no remorse. Instead, he mocks and provokes Mary. Overcome with rage, Mary activates the fire sensors. As flames begin to rise, Diablo notices a hidden space beneath a table and rushes toward it. Once again, Mary looks at her daughter's photo. She recalls the moment Kelly fully recovered and was finally able to walk again. Not long after, Kelly insisted on going to a park by herself. That decision would ultimately cost her life. Kelly was later found dead, burned, and mutilated in the same manner as Diablo's other victims. After years of investigation, an FBI agent named Selena uncovers crucial evidence. The discovery is made at a cabin believed to have once belonged to Diablo. Selena, who is also Mary's close friend, shares all the information without holding anything back. As Mary reviews the files, one document captures her attention. It contains detailed chemical formulas. Sensing its importance, Mary asks for permission to take it home. After learning that the formula was meant to create a temporary paralysis toxin, Mary takes action. She visits a chemical supplier and illegally purchases all the required substances. Mary then tests the injections on herself. She carefully measures how long the paralysis effect lasts. lasts. When Robert learns about Mary's reckless behavior, he contacts Selena to check on her condition. Selena knows the drug is supposed to cause paralysis for 60 to 80 minutes. She becomes suspicious when Mary recovers in less than 40 minutes. It soon becomes clear that Mary has been injecting herself repeatedly over time. By doing so, she has built resistance and reduced the drug's effect on her body. Meanwhile, Diablo remains trapped inside the dark room. He struggles to climb back up while holding a rock. The flames suddenly flare up again, forcing him to throw the rock at the CCTV camera. This shuts down the fire system. After disabling the heat sensors, he attempts to escape through an air vent. However, he soon realizes that he is stuck inside the narrow space. When Mary realizes that Diablo is trapped, she prepares another injection to paralyze him. As she moves closer, Diablo pretends to be helpless. He lures her in and suddenly attacks. Mary quickly retreats into the lower room to escape. Unfortunately, Diablo catches up to her and injects her with the same drug she brought. As he prepares to cut her tongue, Mary quickly activates a video to distract him. In that brief moment, she uses a backup syringe to inject Diablo instead. Both of them end up partially paralyzed inside the room. Before losing full control of her body, Mary sets a timer on her watch to track the drug's effects. While waiting, Mary recalls her earlier conversations with Selena. During those discussions, she noticed something unusual about the case. 2 victims had died in different countries at the exact same time. This suggested that Diablo might not have been acting alone. When Selena received a phone call, Mary used the moment to secretly copy all the data from her laptop. She also took Selena's FBI access card. This explains how Mary gained access to so much confidential information about the investigation. Using Selena's credentials, Mary later enters the evidence storage room. As she studies the maps showing where the victims were found, she notices an overlooked piece of land. The area had been ignored by authorities and left unmanaged for years. The next day, driven by her desire for revenge, Mary travels to that location. She searches the area for any trace of Diablo. There, she discovers a grave marked with the name Sarah. Hanging from the gravestone is the same necklace that triggered Diablo's memories in her house. Nearby, Mary also finds a grave belonging to a dog. Curious about its connection, she decides to dig it up to uncover the truth. Back in the present, nearly 40 minutes after the paralysis begins, Mary slowly starts to regain movement. Although still weak, she grabs a knife and prepares to finish Diablo. Suddenly, Diablo rises and launches another attack. Because both of them are still weakened, Diablo's attacks lack strength. This gives Mary the opportunity to escape. Unwilling to let her go, Diablo chases Mary back into the house. She manages to slip into a room and lock the door behind her. Meanwhile, Diablo storms into the monitoring room. He begins smashing all the equipment in rage. At the same time, Robert arrives at the house. He is approached by Gia, who tells him about Mary's strange behavior. Inside the house, Diablo walks toward Kelly's memorial altar. He deliberately destroys everything there, including her photograph. His goal is to provoke Mary. Unable to control her anger any longer, Mary rushes toward Diablo and attacks him with all her strength. After managing to take his knife, Mary retreats back into her room. She is suddenly startled when Robert appears outside, asking her to open the door. Fearing that he might get hurt, Mary chooses to ignore his calls. After regaining her focus and steadying her mind, Mary decides it is time to end everything. She follows the trail of blood through the house. Suddenly, Diablo appears again and launches another attack. Outside, Selena arrives after receiving Robert's call. She hopes to calm Mary down and convince her to open the door. Inside the house, a brutal fight erupts between Mary and Diablo. Hearing Selena's voice, Mary finally opens the door. As Selena rushes inside, she is accidentally struck during the struggle. The blade in her hand pierces her abdomen. Mary manages to knock Diablo unconscious. However, Selena collapses to the floor, badly injured. Robert desperately tries to stop Selena's bleeding. Mary urges him to call for medical help immediately. She knows that before help arrives, she must deal with Diablo herself. She is determined to finally bring her long pursuit of revenge to an end. After tying Diablo to a specialized bed, Mary wakes him. She plays a video showing the moment she dug up Sarah's grave. Through her investigation, Mary uncovered something the FBI completely missed. Every location where Diablo killed his victims was close to a family grave. This detail became the key to everything. By narrowing her search, Mary eventually found Sarah's grave. It was located right beside the grave of a dog. Realizing this was the starting point of Diablo's pattern, Mary became convinced that Sarah was his biological mother. As Mary dug deeper into Sarah's past, she uncovered a disturbing truth. Sarah deeply despised her own child. Rumors revealed that she often abused him and repeatedly called him Diablo. From this, Mary suspected that Sarah's husband, Diablo's father, was also deeply disturbed. That hatred eventually spread toward her husband and her own child. Unable to endure the the abuse any longer, Diablo eventually killed both his mother and the dog. From that moment on, he began hunting women who resembled her. They all had brown hair, similar height, and similar facial features. He treated his victims the same way he had treated his mother. He cut out their tongues, believing they were the source of the curse that tormented him his entire life. As Mary reveals the truth, she begins cutting off Diablo's tongue. At the same time, she shows footage of herself burning Sarah's grave. She finally ends her long journey of revenge by burning Diablo alive. As the flames consume him, a photograph slips from his hand. The image shows Diablo as a child with Sarah and his father. The father's face is torn, as if it had been deliberately destroyed by Sarah. Days later, the media erupts with news of a woman who avenged her daughter by killing Diablo. However, the FBI is once again left confused. Even after Diablo's death, new victims are discovered. They are killed in the same brutal manner. It becomes clear that the nightmare is far from over. The one continuing the killings appears to be Diablo's father. The story leaves behind a chilling message. Family trauma can last a lifetime. Some wounds never truly heal. If you enjoyed this movie explanation, make sure to like the video. Share it with others who love dark and intense stories. Comment below with your thoughts on the ending. And don't forget to subscribe for more movie explanations like this.